Happy birthday to James A. Caster. Anyway, so I was watching a CJ the X video yesterday. It was about Rick and Morty, and I noticed in one of the clips that he uses, there's some Israeli propaganda in there. So I made a video about that and some other Israeli propaganda that I've noticed in TV shows over the last few months. I'm gonna put this in here. My hair up, I feel like you can't even tell. Anyway. So yeah, I made a video about like the Israeli propaganda that I've noticed. That's cuter, okay. In TV shows recently. And not like, okay, when I say recently, I mean these are like old shows like How I Met Your Mother, Parks and Rec, Superstore, Younger is what I want to talk about today. And then yeah, Rick and Morty. So like I don't know if Rick and Morty's still on, but like most of those shows are over. I don't know about Younger either. I'm assuming it's over because there's one episode where they talk about astrology in it. So, okay. Keep in mind this video is just like stream of conscious. I did not prepare for it in any way. So this is just gonna be like off the top of my head based on my memory of the episodes. But yeah. I talked about the Israeli propaganda in the other video, so I'm gonna like leave that out. But yeah, I don't recommend anyone go like start watching Younger right now. Because of this. But yeah, so I'll just describe what's happening. So Sutton Foster, Sutton Foster. So this lady, she's 40 years old and she's having a hard time getting a job. And a guy at a bar hits on her and he's 26 and he says that he thinks they're the same age. So her friend convinces her to pretend to be 26, apply to jobs again. She goes to an interview, she gets a job as like an assistant to it's a fancy like editing company, or like book company, publishing company, that's probably the best word for it. Like a publishing company, and they have like the Game of Thrones guy. They have like an in-universe like parody version of Game of Thrones and stuff. So yeah, it's like a big fancy publishing company. And then Hilary Duff is, I'm not gonna show, I don't have a book from her, or I probably have like an album somewhere with her face on it, but we're not gonna go look for that right now. So you probably know what Hilary Duff looks like, hopefully. So Hilary Duff's in it. She's like the age that Sutton Foster is pretending to be. Her name's Liza on the show. But yeah, so she's pretending to be 26. Hilary Duff is around that age, and she's like her mentor, and like she had the job that Liza has now before her. So she's like, if you ever need anything, let me know, and like they become friends. Hilary Duff is dating this guy. His name's like Thad or something stupid. And he has a twin brother named Chad, I think. It might be reversed. She might be dating Chad. I'm pretty sure she's dating Thad. So she's dating Thad, and he kind of sucks. He's, like, kind of sexist. He hits on other women. He's actually cheating on her. We see, like, literally, like, a video of him, like, having sex with another girl in the bathroom at their work, which is, like, why... I forget why. Like, they put cameras in there because there was a problem of too many, like... guys sleeping with their secretaries or something. So yeah, there's like video of it, and Sutton Foster's character discovers the Hilary Duff and Thad get engaged. I forget her character. I think it's like Kelsey. They're engaged, and Sutton Foster, Liza, finds out that Thad is cheating on Kelsey. She doesn't want to be the one to tell Kelsey because she doesn't think Kelsey will believe her, or like she'll get mad at her or something, like shoot the messenger. So she goes to Thad and she's like, if you don't tell her, I will. Oh, Thad starts finding out some information about Younger. The titular Younger. No, about Liza. Like he goes to her house and finds her 18-year-old daughter, who's like going to college, or she's like, I'm back from college. Yeah, my mom Liza. So like he finds out she's a mom and like probably lying about other things. He does some investigating, finds out like she wasn't lying about the college she graduated from, but she's lying about the year. So like she has this dirt on him, the cheating video, and well, does she have the video? I don't know. But she knows, and she can tell Kelsey either way. So he finds this dirt on her, and he tells Liza, he like arranges a meetup for them, and it's like in the middle of, like, where did they live in New York? Yeah, I think they're in New York City. It might be Los Angeles. I don't think it makes a difference, but it's like a big city. There's a lot of big buildings. And one of them has like scaffolding, and like they're doing construction, and there's a big crane moving like a steel bar over. It's so stupid. It's so annoying because on the show, anytime the stakes were raised that anybody might find out that she was lying about her age, it just like immediately like vanishes. This was like the closest we got to like having stakes. And then there's one other time like they find Thad's laptop after his death, and so she's worried that Kelsey's gonna open it and find out whatever he like information he found. And it just gets like tossed into a pool, and it's like, I don't know. But maybe that's like the vibe they're going for. They don't want it to be like a series long like stressful drama. It's supposed to be like a funny like sitcom show, you know? Maybe that critique is unfair. But yeah, anyway, so the point is, they're like having this meetup. Thad's trying to like not like blackmail her, but like reverse, like he pulls the reverse Uno card on her. He's like, I got dirt on you too now, so if you tell her that I'm cheating on her, then, but like it doesn't get that far, because a big like steel beam falls from the sky and graciously just kills him, so we don't have to worry about what's gonna happen. I was just like, oh my god, this is so annoying. I can't believe I'm watching this stupid show. Anyway, there ends up being like a video of them, to like somebody sees that they were there together, but like you see her, she's like walking away. Yeah, I guess I understand the point was kind of like her character, like I think she said that she didn't care if Thad told her, she was gonna tell her anyway. And so it's like, wow, look at that growth. She's like willing to risk this all for her friend Kelsey, and then he like gets killed, so it just doesn't matter. Kelsey's fiance is now dead. Fun fact, we find out, okay, I don't want to phrase it that way because it's actually not a fun fact. Sorry. It's not a fun fact because we go to Thad's funeral and we find out that his twin brother Chad is in love with Kelsey, and they've actually had sex before because Chad tricked her into thinking that he was Thad. That's actually not consensual. Okay. Like that's not good. Don't do that. Don't write that into shows that are supposed to be like casual fun, whatever the fuck. Okay. So yeah, that's rape. Moving on, Kelsey's not affected that much by the death. She doesn't cry at the funeral, and Liza ends up deciding to quit because I think she blames herself for Thad dying. If she didn't lie about her age, then like they wouldn't have even been in that situation. And I think she thinks like Kelsey's mad at her, or like I think she does tell Kelsey that he was cheating on her, and then Kelsey like gets mad at her, and then that might have been like unrelated. Liza quits the job at the publishing company and goes and works. She's working at like a department store. Then her boss comes in, and he's been like flirting with her the whole time, and like they're obviously like perfect together, but like she's pretending to be 26 and dating this 26-year-old. But like they obviously have like a lot more in common, and like they're the same age, or he might probably still be older, but like yeah, she like babysits his kids, they get along, or it might just be one daughter, he might have two. His name's Charles. This isn't the point of the video. Yeah, so he comes in and kisses her and convinces her to come back, but they don't like start dating because like, I mean, he's still her boss, so it's like still, I don't know if he, so she's still dating the 26-year-old, whatever. But yeah, so she comes back, and then there's like, Kelsey cries finally, and so she starts grieving, and then there's, this is the part that I wanted to talk about, the astrology. I was like, this video is not going to be long enough to post, and I've just been yapping, and here we go. So the astrologer comes in presumably to sell an astrology book. This like whole shelf is astrology books basically. I mean, there's some tarot, some whatever. But yeah, mostly astrology books. So she comes in, she's like, I'm an astrologer, yay, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, that's not even real, right? Like, I think most people are kind of like playing along with it, but Kelsey, she's not having it. She's like, my fiance was just smushed by a beam, and that's not, I don't know if she phrases it exactly that way, but she's like, my fiance was just killed, and like, do you think like you could have predicted that in my horoscope? And I was just like, oh my god. And she like angrily storms out of the room, and that's the end. Like, we don't see the astrology thing again. I imagine I would like feel bad about that and like come back even if I didn't believe like whatever they were saying, like, you know, like, sorry, I kind of freaked, like, my fiance did just die and I'm kind of having a hard time dealing with it, but like, I don't know, they didn't do that. Like, that's just the end of that storyline. It's like anti-astrology propaganda. I don't think it's like that insidious necessarily, but like, I do think it's just like a common kind of belief that astrology is fake, and so like it's kind of just an easy punching bag. But like, I believe in it. I know a lot of other people believe in it, and from what I've listened to, people who believe in it have often said that they started out looking into astrology because they wanted to like disprove it. They were like skeptical at first. They're like, what the fuck is it? Let me just see what's going on. And then it's like, wait, actually, wait, okay, that makes sense. Okay, and it just like, the more you look into it, the more it like opens up and makes more sense and just like reveals more and more. And it's just like, there's so much that you could learn. And then so for Hilary Duff to just be like, my fiance just died, how could you have predicted this? I can't tell what's happening. Okay, my dad's home anyway, so I'm gonna stop recording. So I'm back. My dad has left now. So the whole video is about, it's just my response to that, I guess. But yeah, I got myself some wine too, so watch out. So the astrologer kind of just gets like no more attention after that. They don't get a chance to defend themselves, so I wanted to take an opportunity now, just because I was thinking about it, talking about Younger in the other video, and I kind of like don't want to make the Sutton Foster video now because of like the Israeli propaganda in Younger. Not that I think she like knew anything about the genocide or anything when she was on it. Anyway, I'm not like defending her, but I'm not trying to like throw her under the bus or anything. I don't know her. I'm just saying like that kind of like put me off wanting to make the video, because then I'd like probably need to watch more of that show, and I didn't want to. So I mean, it's not really necessary for me to watch it anyway. That's not the point of this. The point of this is that yes, I do believe that you would be able to see if your fiance got crushed by a beam in someone's birth chart. Like, not just the birth chart, you'd probably, like, there'd be transits, there'd be, like, Uranus would be over their 6th house, maybe the 8th house. 6th house is, like, injuries, and Uranus is the planet of, like, sudden, like, I don't know, I think of it as, like, kind of violent, but that's not inherent in it, but, like Uranus is often associated with like revolution, so there's like a little bit of violence sometimes. But yeah, like just accidents, like Uranus, Mars. If you have Mars in like the 8th house, Uranus is like traveling over it. It hits that degree finally, because Uranus is pretty slow, but it finally hits that degree. That person probably would have some transits showing up in their chart that would like correspond to having a steel beam falling on them. The other thing, I don't know this technique, but I've heard Chris Brennan talk about it on the astrology podcast a few times. I think, if I had to guess, there's an episode where he has like a casual chat with Madeline DeCoates of honeycomb.co, sponsor of the astrology podcast. I think it's supposed to be just like a casual chat, and then they end up talking about death a lot, but I think they might have had the intention, I can't remember off the top of my head, like that might have been their intention to talk about death the whole time. Don't remember. But yeah, I think in that episode he talks about the length of life technique, which is not the first time I've heard it, but this is the first time, again, I think it's this video. But there's a time that he says that the length of life technique, when it works like really well, and then sometimes it just doesn't, like when it's off, it's like really off. So I don't know what that means. He talks a little bit about like some people believe that it's like a length of life technique, but like now that we have our modern medicine, which like I kind of don't really believe our medicine is more advanced necessarily than like any other cultures of the past, you know? But anyway, yeah, so modern medicine would kind of be able to like mitigate some of the damage, like if you had a heart attack or something in the past, that might have been the end for you, but now we have like cell phones and you can call 911 and get an ambulance, and so then you don't end up dying. Not sure. I don't know the technique. I'm not necessarily interested in learning it. I don't think I would want to know. But yeah, that's so. There's there is a technique that you can use to find the potential of somebody's, like when they're gonna die. It's not super common. Chris Brennan's the only person that I think I've heard like really talk about it. Airplane. Yeah, so it's out there, but then there's other things like secondary progressions. There's that's that's the only one. No. What other timing techniques? Like maybe perfection years. There's like all kinds of things that you can use to find like when things are gonna happen, especially like big events. And then so saying the Mars in the 8th house with Uranus like moving over, that's an example from, let's say it's Thad's birth chart that we're looking at. Kelsey would probably have some sort of 7th house transits, or again secondary progressions might be activated. It might be like a perfection year where she has like something like Saturn in her 7th house or something. And yeah, this is just like her Saturn return, because they're like around 26. Saturn returns a little bit later than that usually, but yeah, it's just like there are definitely that's pretty much what I wanted to say, and I think this video is probably long enough at this point, and I think that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, go watch my other video. It's called clickbait title, because I didn't want to call it like Israeli propaganda in TV shows, because I was like, that's just not gonna go well. I filmed it, and then I grabbed my phone to like upload it to YouTube. I don't edit the videos on that channel. I am editing this one though. So I filmed it, and I was saying like I'm probably gonna put some sort of clickbait title for this. Sorry. I just like don't think that's gonna get like, it's gonna do well in the algorithm. And then I picked up my phone when I was done, and I was like, it just popped in my head, just put it clickbait title, like don't even come up with something else. Just, I was like, okay, I'll try it. So yeah, anti-astrology propaganda is not as serious as Israeli propaganda about like genocide, but I just wanted to talk about it. It's just on my mind. So thanks for listening. See you next time. Boop. Should have filled that up before. Anyway, I could just go run and fill it and edit it out. You would never even know.